Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In our previous video, we saw about Python variables. In the next Python beginner tutorial series, let's talk about Python data types. Okay, so every programming language has data type. Okay, data type is nothing but it's a type which is used to refer a variable or data. Okay, that's what I can explain in a layman term. So let's start looking at those examples. Once you start looking into those examples, you will have a better understanding. Yes, so here I in this slide I have listed down all the different data types which is available in Python. So these are very key ones which is important for every beginner, every programmer to understand. Okay, so first one is text type. STR stands for string. So when I say string, I've given an example within a variable, like I have declared something called x equal to python under double quote. So when I declare this, it means it is a string type, string data type. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this in a Python. Okay, let's see this in our Python. Okay, so what do I have? I have x equal to Python. So let me. So in order for us to know the data type of the variable, we have to provide print type of the variable name. So if I give print type of x here, it will print the data type. So x equal to Python print type of x. So I'm gonna, if I run this, so yeah, if you can see here at the console, it throws, it shows as class string, which is nothing but our variable is of string data type. So this is so this is our first data type. Similarly, we have few other numeric data types, which is like int, float, and complex. Okay, so in the int means integer. It defines numeric values. Okay, so here if the example is x equal to 10. So if I go to my PyCharm and type x equal to 10, and if I run this, it will throw me, it will return me a class in, I mean integer data type. Okay, so you can see it here in the console. So int stands for integer, and float is generally used to define any decimal values. So like if you see here, we have 10.5. So if I include 10.5, this is what we can call it as float. Okay, so this is a float data type. Similarly, there's something called complex data type. This is very rarely used, but so I will explain this. So let me paste this here. So x equal to 1 plus 2j. So now if you see, it is a complex data type. So generally, if you see the syntax, how the syntax will be is, it will be something like x plus 2i, sorry, x plus 2i. So generally here x is the real value, okay, and I is the imaginary part. So whenever you have something of this kind, you generally use it as a complex data type. Okay, so this is another numeric data type. And now moving on to sequence types. Okay, sequence type are nothing but list, tuple, and range. So it will have collection of data is what I mean. We call it as a sequence type. So we in sequence type we generally have collection of data. Okay, so here in the list I have an example called. So before going to that, list, tuple, and range are three important, very important data type, which is very specific to Python. And and if you are a programmer, you will regularly use this type. So it is really necessary for you to understand these data types very carefully. Okay, so list, I have a list of programming languages here. Yeah, I have declared x equal to Python, Java, and Scala. So what? Let me sit here and run this. So it throws me list data type here. Okay, so what is list is? List is a collection of items where if you note the difference here, it is embraced within square brackets. Okay, so So whenever you indicate it within square brackets, we can call it as a list of variables. And this is you can add or remove any number of values inside a list. So that's the advantage of your advantage of having a list. So once you declared, you can add, remove, and whatever you want to do with the list, you can do that. So that's why list is something very useful in real-time implementation. And tuple is nothing but it's similar to list, but if you note the change, it is enclosed within a normal parenthesis. And one more important thing to note here is, in list it was mutable. It means you can add or remove any data, any number of elements from the list, whereas in tuple you cannot do that. So once you declare the tuple, it will remain the same. So okay, so this is what it is. And sorry, what was the mistake here? Okay, there's a braces problem. Okay, now if I run this, I see it returned a tuple data type. And then we have something called a range. Okay, range is something which is used to as the name denotes, it is used to identify a range of elements starting from um, 0th index to the value we have specified. So I have declared here, I defined x equal to range of 6 here. So when I let me paste it here. Okay, it printed me the range type, but in order to understand what range does, let me print x. When I print x, you see it printed me range 0 to 6, which means so when I say range 6, it will take all the elements or integers, rather integer, from 0 to 6. So that's what range does. So this is another type of another data type which you mostly use in Python. Okay, so these are sequence data types. And mapping type is we have a very important data type called dictionary. Dictionary data type is very much popular in Python, so it is really necessary for you to understand what dictionary does. So whenever you have data in a key value pair mapping structure, then you can declare a dictionary variable. In a layman example, telephone directory is an example of dictionary where you have a name associated with a number. So whenever you want to find a number, you search for enter a name and try to look for a number, right? Similarly, when you have data in a key value type manner, you can usually use dictionary. Okay, so here let me run this. So it throwed me a dictionary variable. So here I have two variables, name, where name Vijay is entered and age is 36. So this is a way of mapping dictionary. Okay, and the next we have set types. So in set we have a couple of items. One is normal set and another one is frozen set. So what is set is, it is again similar to list, but only a couple of changes to note here is, it is here highlighted within set brackets, it is enclosed within set brackets, and also the set does not allow any duplicates. If list will allow duplicates, whereas set will not allow any duplicates. So that is something very specific to set. Okay, so yeah, now it returned me set data type. Frozen set is nothing but the difference between set and frozen set is in set you can add or remove any number of elements, whereas as the name indicates here, once it is frozen you cannot change it. Okay, so here we have defined Python, Java and Scala values, so you cannot change it once the frozen set is once we use data type called frozen set. Okay, so it returned me a frozen data set type. And finally we have a boolean type. It is something straightforward with where boolean has true or false values. So if I set x equal to true, it will throw me a boolean data type value, right? So here it is. Okay, so this is how so these are the key data types which are available in Python. So I hope everyone understood all the basic data types steps. In case if you have any queries, please post it in the comment section. Okay, that's all what I have as part of this video. Catch you in another video. Thank you.